Okay, today we're going to sharpen some hair clippers. These are some kind of mid-grade wall hair clippers. And so you're just going to, first thing you're going to do is take these screws out in the bottom. And this model has a couple little spacer washers here that you want to make sure you don't lose. And this one happens to be adjustable. Some are not. So when I put this back together, I'm going to make sure I get it adjusted and tightened down about where I want it. You see how much play there is around these screws. You see how much bigger those holes are than the screws that go in there. And see, this one here has the little washer in it. Anyway, so you pull this off. This little piece was underneath, and it's held on to this plastic piece. And there's a little bit of pressure. This kind of bends down when you push on it. So you notice when you put it back together, it's not going to fit perfectly flat until you tighten it down. That keeps the pressure of this plate against the other plate. So the way that these cut, it's like a whole bunch of little scissors together. See, you get these little pieces and they slide back and forth, and it's like a whole bunch of little scissors. Well, what happens is these surfaces on the inside, they tend to get a little bit dull where these edges aren't super sharp. So that's what we're going to fix tonight on both of these plates. They need to be sharpened. So you can get a whetstone. This is a diamond one, but you can use any kind as long as they're good and flat. And that's why I'm choosing to use this one, because it's actually made out of steel and it has a diamond surface on it. So I'm just going to kind of brush some of the junk off here. And then it's very critical at this point that you keep them perfectly flat. And I'm going to put just a little bit of pressure up here next to these cutter teeth, and I'm just going to go in a circular motion. And then I'm going to run the other way. I'll just alternate every couple seconds. Flip it over and you can kind of see the lighter section here versus the darker. See, the lighter section has been sharpened and the darker section has not yet. So we're just going to take it for a few more seconds, and you can see a little bit of powder starting to accumulate on the stone here. And again, I've got my fingers right here. I'm letting the whole plate lay flat, but I'm mostly putting pressure up here. Take a look at it. So now I'm to the point where I'm cutting pretty much everywhere here. And I don't know if that's staying in focus on the camera or not. But what you want is a very, very crisp edge right here on the edges of these. You want them perfectly square and sharp. We're not sharpening the edges here so that they'll stab you. We're just getting these edges to be very clean and crisp again. I'm just going to do it for maybe 10 or 15 more seconds on this one, and then I'll run this other blade. Alright, I think that one's good. We'll set this one aside, and we'll do this other one. One thing you want to do before you sharpen these is make sure they're not full of grease. It'll kind of clog up your stone. This, I actually, before the start of the video, I did wash these off, put it back together just so I can demonstrate how to take it apart. But yeah, you'll want to wash the oil and stuff off of these plates. So Anyway, you can kind of see the before here on this guy. I'm going to rotate my stone. Again, pressure kind of up towards the teeth. And again, I'm alternating directions. I'll go clockwise and then counterclockwise, then clockwise. Just go back and forth so that I'm catching the teeth on both sides. Alright, now this one's sharpening a little bit faster. I can see that I've gone on the entire surface here. So, that's all I need to do for sharpening. I'm just going to go ahead and put it back together. So this one fits right here. And this one fits over it. Again, this one is adjustable. Let me get my other washer here. This one never came out on this side. It doesn't really matter which screw you put in first, but don't tighten any of them down all the way until all three of them are in, and then you know where you want it to be. Okay, now at this point I can slide the cutter forward and backwards, and this is where you can adjust how close it will cut when it's all the way down. So you can see how these will slide around. So if you want it a little bit shorter, you can slide them all the way down. If you want it longer, you can slide it up this way. So pretty self-explanatory. Now that's a little bit too short, see that? Now that this has pulled it tight and the plates are flat, this comes all the way at about the edge, and this will probably cut skin if I don't adjust it out more. So I'm just going to push these over about to the middle, is about right. And you want to try and get both sides pretty even. That looks pretty good there. Now you can see, if that'll focus on it, that it's not quite to where it's going to cut. Those aren't, sorry, the camera keeps, there you go. So I've got a little bit of room between the end of the moving ones. This little one up top is the moving blade, and the bottom one. Okay, now it's time to go cut hair. Thanks for watching.